Pianist Danilo Perez is a giant in Panamanian jazz. Cited by many as the next Herbie Hancock, Danilo Perez has received praise from music critics and the public alike with his unique style, fusing Latin music with American folk music and other music from around the world. Born to a musician father, he began studying music at the age of 3 and went on to study at the Berklee College of Music. He has performed with renowned artists such as Jon Hendricks, Terence Blanchard, and Paquito de Rivera, and burst into the international spotlight as the youngest member of Dizzy Gillespie's United Nations Orchestra. As one of the most influential musicians of our time, Danilo Perez is also a Grammy Award winner. Join me, Susan Lee MacDonald, and hear how his talent and passion have made music a force for good on this week's The Interview. First of all, Danilo Perez, thank you so much for being here on The Interview.
Thank you. Real
it's such a pleasure to have you here. My goodness. Very much. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Lee MacDonald, and welcome back to The Interview. We have world-renowned jazz pianist Danilo Perez here with us in Seoul, Korea. We can't wait to interview him and meet him and introduce him to a whole new group of people who are just dying to know a little bit more about jazz. So, Danilo, what brings you here to Korea?
Well, we are here for an invitation from our Panamanian ambassador, Arirang TV. This was something that we talked about it 7 months ago. Wow. And he said it would be great to have you at the 50th anniversary of the relationship of Panama with Korea. And I said, wow, if you make that happen, that would be great. And they made it happen. And I had an invitation also to go to the World Music Festival. Fantastic.
So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone for some very special events here in Korea, yes?
Yeah, they arranged it completely. The treatment has been nice. And the audience, the first concert, my God, I got him on stage and I started hearing like, it was like a rock concert. People are screaming and singing and singing encore, encore, encore. And it was a fascinating experience for me.
Wow. This isn't your first time to Korea, no? You've been here before, yes?
Yeah, I was here 3 years ago with Wayne Shorter.
Yes.
And I remember we played at the LG Performance Center.
That's a beautiful place, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Yeah. And after we played, it was a line, 3 hours, signing autograph.
Wow.
And everybody had a CD of the 4 of us, Brian Blade, John Peritucci. It was fantastic. I actually remember my hands hurting. You know, I had to write all the names too. It was really complex.
This is a popular bar among jazz enthusiasts in Cheongdam-dong, Seoul. Here, Danilo Perez will give a performance for his Korean fans. Many VIPs are here to commemorate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Korea and Panama. The ambassador of Panama to Korea is busy greeting the guests.
We are here tonight because I have the honor of being the ambassador who presides the celebration of the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Panama and Korea. And give a bigger applause to my friend Danilo Perez.
Danilo Perez comes on stage after an introduction from the ambassador. Let's take a listen.
To play one of the greatest inspiration I've come from my daughter, my first daughter, called Daniela. And this is our version of a piece I wrote for her called Daniela.
파나마도 이 재즈를 통해서 재즈를 하나의 공공외교의 수단으로 이렇게 활용하고 있는 것 같아서 아주 멋지다고 생각이 듭니다.
An evening of jazz in this wonderful club, and so who could resist, you know? And it's been a fantastic night, and the jazz has been amazing, and the social atmosphere has been amazing. So yeah, it's been a really great night.
You know, as most Koreans, and me included, we all started learning either violin or piano from a very young age, and we were taught classical, you know, the Hanon and the Mozart and the Cherny and all that stuff. Is that a path that you also went? Because I know that your father was a musician too, yes?
Yeah, my father actually was, the relationship with my father was fascinating. And one of the things that my father, from the beginning, taught me the connection of music and humanity. For example, he told me, you know, how are you? So, tan, tan, tan. And I say, I'm fine, tan, tan. What is your name? Pam, 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 pam. My name is Danilo. My name is Danilo. So I was associated rhythm and music
language.
with language. To the point that when I went to school, I wasn't doing very well in mathematics. And he said, no problem. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And 8 is 16. And that's how I learned information.
So it was through music and through rhythm that you were able to really learn language and math.
Math and geography and a lot of courses I hated. I didn't really like it. But through music, he opened a door for me to like. So, you know, then after that, I played my bongos, I played my claves, I sang at breakfast with him. And he passed me to the conservatory, very wise, my father. And he said, this is where the people who want to get serious with music go. Papa, I want to go to the music school. So I learned the traditional classical piano.
From what age did you
That
start?
was 6 years old. I was 6 years old, turning 7. And I had a fantastic teacher from Chile. And she taught me analysis, theory and analysis,
At
performance.
age 6?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I'm telling you. There's no such a age to start talking to about form and analysis. She was so friendly and taught me to even get deeper into the music and love the music. And you saw why Haydn put this note here, and where is the phrase, and what is the chord, what tonality is. And I was 6, 7 years old, like, huh?
Did you even understand the words or the concepts at that time?
Not really, but I was fascinated. Like, wow, I wonder what she means. But that question, I wonder what she means, remains with me even to now.
Wow. So now as you're composing, now as you're playing, the words of your father and of your first piano teacher still stays with you?
Exactly. And I had a lot of great mentors. My father, my piano teacher from Chile, a teacher by the name of Edgardo Quintero was his name, Jorge Carrizo, who just passed away last week,
I'm sorry.
I have a lot of great mentors. I'm very grateful because throughout my life, I have had some of the best teachers, really.
Wow. With your father having supported you in your desire to study music, did you ever feel pushed to study music? Did you ever feel like that was the only choice that you had in terms of the direction of your life? Or were you open to other possibilities growing up of maybe becoming a fireman or a doctor or a chocolate farmer? Because by the way, I really love Panamanian chocolate.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Fantastic. It's interesting. I saw music as an instrument to appreciate the world I was living on. It was my window into the beauty of the universe. And my father was very strong about that music is not something that you own, it's something you resonate from the moment that you are in the womb with the heartbeat, tune, 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 there's rhythm. The moment you're trying to speak, you know, pop, 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 there is music. We are music, and music are us. So I think there was never pressure. I just, I studied electronics.
You did?
Yeah, and because I made a deal with my mother. You know, my mother was worried, like, oh, you as a musician, I don't know, musicians have such a reputation, like we can't live out of music, we are this and that.
A difficult lifestyle, and she's probably just worried about your life. Yes.
Yeah, so she was very worried about me, and I made a deal with her. I say, if you let me study music, I will continue my electronic career. And guess what? When I was 16 years old, there was a diagram. I was in university. There was a diagram, and there was a problem with that we had to fix a TV, you know. And I was like, and I was gonna write the answer, and I saw big applause, cling, cling, cling. You know, I saw like Daydream.
Yes.
And it was me playing in a stage. So I took the paper and the pen, went to the teacher, and here it is. And I didn't answer. And I walked away, never came back. And I started arranging everything to go and study music to the United States. Because I remember what called me in the United States was jazz. I loved the sound, you know, Freddie Hubbard. And when I heard that music, my life was not the same ever.
Wow. So from that daydream of you being on stage to you leaving Panama, leaving your family and going and studying by yourself, that wasn't really a hard decision for you, was it?
For me, it wasn't. For my mother, was. You gotta, my mother is a small, powerful, strong, caring, very, very maternal. And she loved me as much as I love her. But when I came home and I said, Mommy, I am not going to continue my career. She's like, what? I'm going to study music. Oh no, what are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Oh my God. Mommy, I need to go, Mama. This is what I feel in my heart. I need to do this. But how are we gonna pay? So I had it all arranged.
Oh wow.
I got a Fulbright scholarship from the U.S. Embassy, from the Fulbright program.
That's such an honor to have.
Totally. I had everything arranged, and here I went.
Wow. I would like to ask you a few questions about once you got to the States and you started studying, what was it like for you? How was your English at that time? Did you have any difficulties adjusting to life in the States? It's so different from Panama.
It was terrible. All I had to say hamburger. I used to say, can I have a hamburger? And I ate hamburger for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I learned how to say chicken sandwich. And it was a difficult transition. And you know, the transition for me that was hard was, I was very, I had a lot of support in Panama. Being such a young age, playing with a lot of people, sort of like being a very advanced at my age.
Yes.
But when I came to the United States, there was a lot of other talent, especially when I moved to Berklee College of Music, and I got a scholarship to go there. Oh my God, I would go like, I want to study with that guy. And it's like, no, that's a student too. What? I want to study with that guy.
Wow.
That's another student. I almost freaked out.
Wow. Once you started
practicing and playing and learning from your teachers and your mentors, what was it that made you decide that you really wanted to continue this and go completely professional?
Well, there were two key things. One was meetings, the great meetings I had with the teachers. You know, that was something I've had all my life, paying attention to the surroundings. I have great mentors in Panama, great mentors in Boston. And one of them that sticks out to me at that moment was Donald Brown.
Okay.
Donald Brown, James Williams, all that group of pianists. I admired them very much, but Donald Brown told me, you are called to be a jazz pianist. You have to, as soon as I get an opportunity for you, you're gonna have to audition. And I remember the first time there was an opening at the Art Blakey band, and he got me an audition, and I couldn't go out of my room. I was so scared. But the next time, he told me, you will never miss an audition.
So you actually missed the audition?
Oh, yes, I did.
You were too petrified to go?
I was like this.
Oh, my goodness.
Art Blakey,
You would never know that seeing you perform in front of thousands of people now.
No. I was nervous. I was totally nervous. But the next one he got me was with Jon Hendricks.
Oh, nice.
And he called me and he made sure I went. Are you in the bus? Are you going to New York already? And I was like, yes. So I got to New York. I was in line with a lot of other pianists, and I was, I think, one of the last one. And I went, play, and Jon Hendricks say, okay, rehearsal time, let's go. You got in immediately.
Just like that?
Just like that. He said, you're moving to New York, let's move on, you gotta go. And I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, my mother, what is she gonna think about this? I'm gonna tell her, I'm staying in New York. I'm not going back to school. And guess what happened when I told her? She said, oh no, you don't know what you're doing, my son. You're completely lost. But I had 2 years with Jon Hendricks, and that was my best experience as far as learning the literature and learning the history of this music. That was like an advanced
graduate course almost.
He had said, you got to learn this repertory. We are playing Duke Ellington, and we are playing the whole repertory of Count Basie, and the whole repertory of Horace Silver, and ta-da-da-da-da.
Wow.
And I was like, oh. Music for me has been a powerful weapon to help society, and a powerful weapon against a lot of the things that we need to change in society. It's sort of like a vaccine for hope. You can vaccinate people with music and make the whole world more hopeful with music.
You were selected as one of the youngest members of Dizzy Gillespie's United Nations jazz group, yes?
Yeah, it's called the United Nations Band.
Yes. And how did that come about? That was such an honor, I bet.
Well, during the period I was with Jon Hendricks, I also had the chance to work with Terence Blanchard, and then I worked with Paquito da Rivera, Claudio Roditi, Sly Hampton, and all of them, a lot of them were in the this is United Nations Band.
Yes.
And there was an opening because Manti Alexander, who was the pianist at the time, couldn't do a tour.
Oh.
So my name came out through Paquito, and it was vouched by, it was supported by Claudio and by Sly and by a lot of the other people who already had an opportunity.
Who already knew your talent. Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was on my way to the Thelonious Monk semi-final, the piano competition. I was one of the semi-finals.
Wow.
You didn't know that, Gil, huh? So when I'm going there, I'm already so nervous, and I get a call. I remember the roof wasn't so high. So, excuse me, this is Gillespie manager. I'm like, yeah, right.
It must have been like a prank call. I mean,
yeah, I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Ring. I go, excuse me, no, I'm going. No, this is Gillespie, Charlie Fishman. Yeah, who? Charlie Fishman. We need you at the airport at this time. Dizzy Gillespie is calling you. I said, what? I was like, are you serious? And I jump and almost knocked myself out. I almost knocked myself out. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
That's incredible. Wow.
That's how it happened. So then I got there and Dizzy was there. And the first experience live with him was that a video that is out with the Dizzy Gillespie United Nations.
Yes.
Actually, I think that was like my second gig.
Wow.
That was my second gig. And it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Still like a dream for me.
What was it like to meet him and like shake his hand?
I was, Mr. Gillespie, nice to meet you. And he's like, yeah, but tie your shoes. You know, you know, I was so nervous. You keep yourself. John's son, you know, he said, I have holes in my shoes and in my socks. I have holes in my socks that are older than you. I was like, oh my God. He was saying, you got a lot to learn. That's what he was saying. He wasn't, you know. So I was there with him all the time. And this image sticks to me. We were in Italy, and I was always with him on the piano and learning. And so I said to him, man, how do you come out with those voicings, you know? And he's like, those sounds, you know? So he said, okay, put your hands on the piano. So I went, playing, and he said, lift one finger, boom, listen to that sound, boom. Lift another finger, listen to that sound. He lifts all the fingers until it was one note. The key is to listen. So that was a great lesson right there. And then another time, at the same time, we were there. All of a sudden, there's a line of people that was Miles Davis coming with a crew.
Wow.
And Miles Davis, the tour, it was going like this, and he went where we were. And Miles came to where Dizzy was, here, went on his knees, and went like this, and kissed his hand.
Oh, wow.
I could not believe what I saw.
Wow.
I still going, what? Miles Davis did that?
Wow.
In the African tradition, that's the greatest signs of appreciation and respect coming from a man to kiss somebody else, another man's hand. And when he left, this said, that's Miles. And I was like, what? Yeah, that's Miles. Wow.
Wow.
And Miles said, hi, Dizzy. Love you. And he just left. Wow. That's still in my heart when I saw that. It's like,
a lot of reasons that I love to personally interview musicians and artists is just because you all are so creative, and the regular accountant and lawyer, they're all respectable and I love all their jobs and we all need them, but the creativity that musicians and artists bring and the kind of vision that they have when they're creating something is not like any other kind of profession. Do you know how that comes about? Is that something that is just, you're born with that type of creativity? Can it be taught? Do you feel like they were able to teach you kind of a creativity that maybe you had already a base and it just went up a notch?
you know, that's interesting. I've been thinking a lot about what you're saying, and my idea right now, it is that there's a lot of lines and divisions between human beings in all kind of different terms, professions, ideology, religion, but they all are illusions for me. The idea that a man is not creative, it kind of doesn't really sit well with the idea of humanity itself. When we were born, it's almost like, as Wayne Term said sometime, we have been hijacked from the woman. You know, with this idea that musicians are this, that, and the people are the normal people in the profession. I found that to be an illusion. I believe in the great lawyers and the great accountant, because more than being an accountant, you actually have to exercise humanity. You see,
which in itself is creative.
Exactly. Just from the moment that when you were a kid, you know, if you say to a kid, for example, I like the soundtrack of learning words. Okay, so you're telling your kid, he's about to put the finger in the electrical outlet. You go, no, be careful, You know, he's not really hearing those words and really understand what you're saying. What he's hearing is going, ba, 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 ba. Because imagine telling a kid that's gonna put his finger on an electrical outlet with this thing going, don't do that. I think you're going to hurt yourself. That melody doesn't resonate as danger.
Yes.
It has to have articulation and dynamics. Bam, da da da, ding, no, boom,
Yes.
you see what I mean? So we are already creative when we do this. When I hear you talking, for example,
Yes.
tell me something in Korea.
정말 만나서 영광이에요.
Dun, 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 dun. So I put a beat to. You see what I mean? There's already a creator, and you can talk of a beat.
사랑해요.
You know,
That means I love you.
I love you. You see? So I think these are lines. It's almost like if musicians are the only responsible for creativity in the world, I don't really buy that idea. I totally don't. I learn a lot from all the people I'm surrounded. And when I play, sometimes I'm not thinking about music. I'm thinking about that sound. I'm thinking about, you know, what I'm feeling right now being here with the guy with the camera. I'm trying to be here with you all. And really, that's what jazz is to me. Is that spirit. Spirits of giving yourself in the moment to the fullest. No hiding. Not, oh, I don't know this person. I'm not going to give them. These all are controlling type of mechanism. You know what I mean? So I challenge all the lawyers and accountants out there to become a full force creative musician in what they do.
I think that's a fantastic challenge. So Danilo, we have a special guest here today, and we have Panamanian Ambassador Arirang Cisneros visiting. So let's, I see him over there, let's have him come on. Hello, how are you, sir? Very nice to meet you. Please have a seat. So, wow, thank you so much for being a part of our show. I really appreciate you coming. One of the measures of improving Korea and Panama relations through culture, you've brought none other than Danilo Perez here.
Yes.
And I bet that was partially strategic, but I bet you're also a fan of his too.
Yes. There are several reasons. I would like to bring you the concept of exports. An export is a sale that you do instead inside your country, you sell it outside your country.
Right.
And there are some Panamanians that have been great exporting themselves. Mariano Rivera is a Yankee, a player in the New York Yankees. He could have stayed in Panama, would have been a fisherman, but he chose to go to New York, and he is a picture of the New York Yankees. Ruben Blades went to New York in the late 70s and become one of the greatest salsa singers ever in a record label called Fania. Roberto Duran is a boxer, has won 5 titles in 30 years in different categories of weights. So these are examples of Panamanian that excelled because they chose to go out of their country and export themselves. Just as you can export a product, you can export a service, or you can export a person. So I cannot bring Mariano Rivera to be a picture here.
Yes.
Roberto Duran is a boxer. Ruben Blades is a singer.
I don't want to get hit.
So I said,
I don't need to be punched.
who can I bring to Korea who's a Panamanian that I am proud of, that has been successful exporting himself, and that can bring friendship stronger? And this is the guy.
Yeah.
That's why he's here.
Wow. Fantastic. How do you feel being one of Panama's main cultural exports?
Well, it's an honor, but it's also for me, it's clear that having a vision is important. He had a vision already, and that helps. You know, when you combine the elements between talent and opportunity and a chance to export yourself, that's when you have a winning situation. And for me, jazz is probably the most logical tool for diplomacy that exists. It's an amazing tool for cultural exchange.
I mean, harmony is built in.
Exactly.
Right?
Harmony.
Working with different people.
Exactly. And we can come together no matter if we can speak the same language through blues, to the music. You come together, you know. So it's an honor for me. It's a big responsibility, but it's also it's a great example of what happened when people are creative in what they're doing, and when all these creative thoughts come together, you have a winning situation. That's what I was saying before.
Yeah,
he's being a jazz. He's being a jazz ambassador. He's wearing the hat of a creative man, and instead of going for the formal, normal way to do it, he's creating an adventure, and I'm here to deliver.
Fantastic.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Because I have grown a little bored of receptions. So I'd rather have fun here
Yeah.
and make Koreans enjoy a Panamanian that I'm very proud of.
Thank you.
Ambassador, could you tell us what kind of events you're planning for this 50th anniversary of Korea and Panama's diplomatic relations?
This is the main event, this jazz concert. That's one thing. Another thing that Panamanians are proud about is our coffee. But it's not very well known. There are other countries like our brother Colombia who are very well known for coffee. So one of our events will be on Lotte Hotel on the 21st of September. Around 8 Panamanians who produce coffee are coming to Korea. We have invited the importers, the distributors, the baristas.
Oh, wow.
And the third event is related with investments. I have created a good friendship with the Korean Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So our commercial attaché, who's a Panamanian called Juan Jose Garcia, he's going to do a one-day event to explain to Koreans why they should go to Panama and invest in Panama. It's called Panama Invest. So we have jazz, coffee, investments.
Wow.
Instead of the boring reception.
Well, I think that's probably the advantage of Panama having been smart enough to send a young ambassador to kind of think out of the box, to bring jazz and Panama jazz to the world. So I think that it's a fantastic thing that you're doing, Ambassador.
Thank you.
One of the things that I really was excited about when we were looking at who to have for the show this week, and they said they were going to have you. I was like, yes, thank goodness. Because I think that through jazz, through music, through true culture, people's hearts can be moved, people's money can be spent, and in a good way, to help the circulation of what's kind of a depressed economy kind of worldwide revive and kind of regenerate. And so I'm just super, super excited that you made this decision to bring Danilo here. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much for being a part of our show today. I really appreciate it.
I learned a lot from Koreans. They are fascinating people.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's a lot more than just the musical style. Of course, he's an amazing pianist and composer and improviser, but his whole attitude towards music and life and how music can change the world really comes through. And I think that's a big part of why it speaks to me so much. Is he's more than just a good pianist. You know, he's really an ambassador for peace through his art.
That was a Panamanian standard.
Wow.
Called Panama Viejo. And this is something I wrote based on a Panamanian rhythm called tamborito. And the rhythm is that tum pa tum pa tum pa tum pa tum. So I had the it's very galactic. This is what I imagine Panama in 50 years. Yeah, thank you.
Bravo. Wow.
So you can use some of that. That's called Galactic Panama. It's a tamborito, tambor norte. Basically, the left hand has that feel, and it's so rooted in our rhythm from Panama.
I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to see you perform later on tonight.
Thank you. Superstition. Like, you know, you mean like stuff that I do that I sound like ritualistic? Well, you know, with the Wayne Shorter Quartet, we put our head together in the backstage. And what I think of that is that when we put the head together, is that we're connecting the brains to be as creative and synchronized as we can. That's what I think of that ritual. It's like connecting our brain, like zzz, and then we can do a lot of magnetic stuff and disappear.
Danilo, as a humanitarian, you've done so much to help young people in Panama and really inspire people who would not have the opportunity to do music or to maybe even study. And I'd like for you to talk a bit about the humanitarian work that you're involved with right now.
Well, you know, it started basically for me with the idea that when you have an opportunity to study, you have to share also with people. And when I left Panama, I made that promise. And through the years, I went back and started giving back to Panamanians, to my fellow musicians, giving lessons and classes. But it wasn't until 2003 when we created the Panama Jazz Festival, which I invite all of you to come.
Oh, yeah.
WW Panama Jazz Festival in January. Don't miss it this year. But we created this with the idea to provide a cultural opportunity that we knew that people of our country will benefit from. Because seeing all these great masters perform and being able to take a class with them and to hear them talking and sharing their experience, something was going to change. And what had happened is the Panama Jazz Festival gave birth to a foundation that it carries my name.
Yes.
And this foundation, the focus has been in providing an opportunity that it's an amazing. It's like social change through music. We have seen the life of many kids from underprivileged area change completely.
Wow.
So through music, we give them the opportunity and the tools for them to even actually have the idea of hope, dream in their life. And I got to tell you, this experience for me has been powerful to see how a lot of them has changed. I have students now who are teachers who are teaching other kids.
Wow, and just in less than 10 years.
Well, the work has been for over 25 years, but
Okay.
formally for 10 years.
I see. Wow.
Formally for 10 years. And I gotta tell you, I have an amazing family. Without that support, it would have not happened. And I have an amazing wife who has been on my side, who actually has been an advisor. You know, when I go flying on the air with this idea and these dreams, you always need somebody on your side to
Yeah.
help. And now this year with my new manager also, everybody kind of have taken upon this dream and make it their own.
Wow.
And it has become an event that changed people's life.
It's fantastic to know that not only do you decide to take what you've learned and share it with the world through your CDs, through your performances, and you also have the incredible support from friends and family and people who can help ground you and help you to know what your roots are. But you're also helping kids who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to do what they do. And you've also made quite an impression on a number of Korean disciples and students that you've had too. And I'd like for you to talk about what would be some of the things that, that you could give advice to for any up-and-coming Korean jazz musicians, any up-and-coming jazz musicians, period, to go on this road, this not-so-easy road of being a jazz pianist or musician?
Yeah, I would say that when you choose to be, you don't choose jazz. Jazz chose you. And once the music chose you and the spirit of the music choose you, you have to be the best of yourself you can be. Give to the music of as much as you can from within your heart. It's not just about the music. It's about what you see that the music put out of you that you may want to improve and change. You know, if you are somebody who don't like uncertainty, jazz is a very huge thermometer for that. Because you know, you go in there and sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. If you really suffer from that, this music really helped you
to be okay with uncertainty.
And to help to, you know, maybe you're not going to like it completely, but we just started adjusting, and maybe that helped you to be a better person. If the idea of tolerance, if you're not very tolerant, this music really puts you on the spot. The idea of illusions in life, this music really breaks all those boundaries.
Wow.
And that's why I love this music, because it's a true medicine. Jazz is the spirit, you know. It has to do with something unknown.
Yes.
And what I would advise to a lot of the Koreans, it's not about the style. It's not about, just do what you love. If you love Red Garland, listen to Red Garland. If you love Wynton Kelly, listen to Wynton Kelly. But always remember that there's been a whole path and a lot of priests, a lot of people who has given their life for you to be here and acknowledge legacy, you know.
It didn't just happen just overnight, and it didn't happen with just one person. It was a combination of people building upon each other and that kind of collaboration. Yes.
Yeah. It's a laboratory. Maybe one day we all meet and compare notes. And that's what jazz is. And I will remind them to take it as a window to look at the universe. The eyeglasses to the beauty in the universe. Don't look at jazz in that way.
Fantastic. Danilo, it's been such a pleasure to have you here, and you know, I wish that we had so much more time, but you've got a tight schedule, and I know I need to let you go for the next. But I appreciate you so much for your honesty, for your vulnerability, and your candor, and how fun you've been. It's been great to have you here.
Thank you. Real pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a quiet afternoon in Insadong, Seoul. In this neighborhood of traditional Korean beauty, Danilo Perez is enjoying a day off with his friends.
Go check it out, soft-food.
He stops by at a Korean restaurant.
We go in here, this is where it's at. This is level.
Korean is one of Danilo's favorite cuisines. He has no problem choosing what to eat from the variety of foods before him.
And it's spicy for this.
The table is soon set with bibimbap, samwraps, and soft tofu stew, traditional Korean favorites. How will Danilo and his friends enjoy the food? Danilo maneuvers through the food easily with chopsticks. His friends seem to be enjoying themselves as well. Danilo is satisfied with his food, and he gives us a thumbs up.
So far, I like everything. But this is curing me right now. It's taking away these.
Soon he's finished a bowl of rice mixed with kimchi stew. Throughout the meal, we could feel Danilo's love for Korean food. The next stop is Changdeok Palace, known as the best preserved palace in Seoul. This is a rare opportunity for Danilo to look around in Korea's most beautiful spots.
So this is the tool.
Wow, beautiful already.
Danilo seems excited to be immersed in traditional Korean beauty today. He enjoys experiencing Korean history as he looks around the palace grounds. With each step in Changdeok Palace, he gets another glimpse into Korea's glorious past. He follows the tour guides toward the main building.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Danilo enters Injeongmun, the main building in Changdeok Palace where the coronations took place. What does he think about the Korean style of architecture and the buildings where the king once carried out his political affairs?
Boy, the architecture is super impressive. And it's like, it's so well integrated it doesn't, it's a part of the land. It feels like organic, you know?
Danilo seems to be intrigued by the Pumgesok, which revealed the different social classes.
And the beauty, actually, I mean, this is like very ecologically friendly too. We have a lot to learn. You know, if I have a piano, I'll be here. Wow, this is amazing. Just the possibilities, what Alex said, possibilities of human beings to be able to do something as profound as this. It challenged and inspired me.
Danilo Perez knows how to truly appreciate Korean culture through food and history. It is his efforts to sincerely understand different cultures that gives his music so much depth and soul.